Engineering.
Dopo che tu dai un pezzo.
Dopo che. Pappi a Roma. Asli.
Procession. This valedictory procession comprises of former postgraduate students, consultants, academic and professional colleagues of the valedictory lecturer. And now we're receiving the Vice Chancellor's procession, which is being led in today by the Deputy Registrar Senate Matters, Mrs. Comfort Ehigiato. The procession comprises of Provost, College of Medical Sciences, Dean of Postgraduate School, the Dean of Students, Deans of various faculties, Directors of academic programs and institutes, the valedictory lecturer, principal officers of the university, and the Vice Chancellor. This is the Vice Chancellor's procession. National anthem. Resourceful Professor Lillian represented at this valedictory lecture by the Deputy Vice Chancellor at Cairo campus, Professor Yamin Ainde, other principal officers of our university, Provost, Deans and Directors of the university, Professors Emeritus, other professors and scholars here present, Your Royal Highnesses, government functionaries, staff and students, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, It is my pleasure this morning to welcome every one of you to today's valedictory lecture. This is the 8th in the valedictory lecture series of the University of Benin, to be delivered by Professor Imokhai, Momoh. Please put your hands together to celebrate it. He is a professor of surgery, consultant surgeon. The topic of his valedictory lecture is From Cairo to Cape Town, the Sojourn of Sojourn. May I now invite the Registrar and Secretary to Council of our University, Mr. Ademola Bobola, MNI and CIPN, to introduce the Vice Chancellor and members of the Vice Chancellor's Procession.
I think we all deserve some level of round of applause to celebrate. We thank God that this is not a somber moment, but it's a time of rejoicing, a period of harvest, of good works. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and the Vice Chancellor, kindly permit me to continue to abide by the protocol as already established by the University's Public Relations Office and the acting PRO. It is my pleasure to present to us at this occasion the number one citizen on our campus and the number one Vice Chancellor in the whole of the Nigerian university system. That is the Chairman Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian University. And that position is also domiciled in the great University of Benin, a very distinguished first-generation university in Nigeria. Please let's give the university a round of applause. Our Vice Chancellor is also the Vice President, Association of African Universities, and she's also the pillar of education in the whole of Africa, and the first woman and the first person in the whole of Africa to be conferred with that honor in Kigali, Rwanda. Madam Vice Chancellor is ably supported by very distinguished and eminent scholars. And first on this is the man standing in for him today, a distinguished professor of pharmacology, and of course, a very distinguished religious leader both within and outside the university system. Professor William Inu, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Ekewa Campus, standing in for the Vice Chancellor. Of course, we also have another very distinguished scholar, this time in the pharmacy, a fellow of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, man who has received several awards from that field, and very prominent leader as far as academic enterprise of this university is concerned. Professor Ray was our Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic. Today we have with us the representative of the Bossa, Dr. Dominic Eche, who is standing in for the Bossa of this university. The custodian of our books and publications is busy somewhere else, at least trying to put things together so that the university can be properly accredited by the visiting teams from the National Universities Commission. Of course, we have with us today. Emmanuel is also celebrating so many things. That this lecture is coming up at this time in his tenure. I'm sure he's so happy and fulfilled to be the one serving as provost when we are having this lecture from a very distinguished, outgoing professor. So it is my pleasure and honor to present to us today the provost of our very reputable College of Medical Sciences, Professor Wilson Sado. The acting dean who are postgraduate studies, of course, a professor in his own right and in the engineering field, Professor Engineer S.A. Aliu for postgraduate studies. number one citizen in terms of studentship on this campus. When you look at this place, you know this one is a student, although he's a professor. He's a single professor of economics. Professor A.C. Ighodaro. Student affairs. And of course, we have the Dean Faculty of Agriculture, Professor E.R. Orue. The post-dean of today, deliberately, I didn't want to mention it because he has a lot of things to do. He's playing post today to many distinguished and eminent personalities we meet here today, and he's going to be held for anything that goes whichever way today, and I'm sure he has committed everything to the hands of God to go very right. Professor Osaro Giago is the post-dean and the dean school of medicine. Very close to him is also the dean of dentistry, who was giving us so many diseases from his area of knowledge a while ago, maybe last week or so. Professor F.O. Momoh, the Dean of Dentistry. The Dean Faculty of Education covers the Faculty of very distinguished Vice Chancellor. Professor Kingsley Momoh. The Dean Faculty of Engineering is represented today by Dr. Osasowa. Please, let's give him a round of applause, please. Then we have the Dean who was standing here exactly in this place yesterday, celebrating one of the distinguished alumnus of this university who gave a very powerful lecture on Nigerian civil rule and all the rest of them, former minister and former governor. The dean who is still celebrating, who has a lot to celebrate with the lecturer today, Professor I.O. Omoru, the Dean Faculty of Law. Professor A.C. Okpara is the Dean Faculty of Pharmacy. Representing the Dean Faculty of Physical Sciences, Professor J.U. Ihasele. A very distinguished professor and the Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor D.A. Tongwe. The Director in charge of Temple Center for Aquaculture and Food Technology, Professor Ishoma Obo, is also in the Vice Chancellor's. Also in the Vice Chancellor's lecturer today is the Director Institute of Childcare, Professor Mrs. Sado. Acting Director Institute of Education, Professor I.F. Iyam. Acting Director of IPAES, right there in the Legawa campus, Dr. Ibo Ogato. Leading the Vice Chancellor's lecturer this morning is the Deputy Registrar in charge of Senate Matters, Mrs. C.I. Iyato. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to continue to bore you down because we are very close to the point of the lecture. However, before then, it is my singular honor and pleasure to call on the acting Vice Chancellor to present the Vice Chancellor's address at this event.
The principal officers of this great university, the Provost, College of Medical Sciences, Chief Medical Director, University of Benin Teaching Hospital, Professor Obaseki, all deans and directors, as well as schools that we have here, directors of institutes, members of council and the senate of this great university, all retired and serving professors, my lord, spiritual and temporal, former registrar, Mrs. Oshodi, Justice Olubo, retired president of customary courts, surgeons and students of our valedictory lecturer, staff and students, the distinguished invited guests and friends of our university, gentlemen and ladies of the press. I bring you greetings from our dear Vice Chancellor, who, as said by the registrar, we all know her to be the chairperson of the Committee of Vice Chancellors of this country. Because of the exigencies of the office, she could not make it to attend the program with us. But she sent her prayers to the valedictory lecturer, Professor Momoh, that your retirement life will be better than your life in service. And that will be extended to those that have retired and every one of us that are also preparing to retire. Let me go straight to Madam Vice Chancellor's speech. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th in the valedictory lecture series of the University of Benin. Today's lecture is the third to be delivered in my tenure as the Vice Chancellor of this university, and the second from the School of Medicine. I'm glad that our retiring professors are building the university experiences they garnered over the years by delivering valedictory lectures. These experiences will serve as a guide to those of us who are still in service. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our lecturer for today. He is Professor Imokhai, Momoh. The title of his lecture is From Cairo to Cape Town, is the Sojourn of a Sojourn. Professor Moses Momoh was born on the 26th of November 1953, where majority of us were not yet born. In Imokhai village of Fuga Town in Abiyankula, the central local government area of Edo State, into the family of late Chief Christopher Momoh. Let me skip the middle name so that I don't bite my tongue. The embracer of Imokhai of Ogundope of Avian and Chief Mrs. Grace Agnes Naluba Momoh. The Amendukwe of Avian and Yogosumi of Wipawono. Thank you very much. You know, each time I try to pronounce names, I find myself in that mood. Maybe if I want to marry, I'm a Muslim, I'm entitled to 4 wives. Thank you very much. He attended St. Vincent Catholic Primary School, Auchi, where he obtained his first living certificate in 1955. He had his first African school certificate in 1970 from St. John's College, Fuga. He thereafter proceeded to Government College, Uganda, where he obtained his advanced level certificate in 1972. He gained admission into the University of Benin to study medicine in 1973 and graduated with MBBS in 1979. He started his medical practice as a house officer with the University of Benin Teaching Hospital from 1979 to 1980. He did the mandatory 1-year national youth service in Ogun State from 1980 to 1981, after which he returned to the University of Benin Teaching Hospital as a casualty officer. He joined the Department of Surgery fully in 1983. In April 1993, he obtained fellowship of the West African College of Surgeons and joined the services of the University of Benin as a lecturer and rose through the ranks to the position of the professor in 2011. He has held several academic and administrative positions within and outside the university, such as Deputy Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee in 1998, Chairman, Medical Advisory Committee, Director of Clinical Services and Training of University of Benin Teaching Hospital, 1998 to 2003. Edo State Christian Pilgrims Division to Israel and the Holy Land in 1997 and 2008. He was the Dean School of Medicine from 2014 to 2016. He was equally head of Department of Surgery, University of Benin in 2014. He has been Chief Examiner to Foreign Trade Medical Graduates for the Nigerian Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Member Nigerian Surgical Society, Member Ministerial Committee of the Federal Ministry of Health on Residency Training Program in Nigeria 2016. He was Honorable Commissioner of Health in this great state, Edo State, from 2009 to 2011. Professor Momoh belongs to several professional bodies and associations, such as Fellow West African College of Surgeons 1993, since 1993, Fellow Nigeria Institute of Management Consultants 2016, Associate Fellow Nigerian National Postgraduate College of Nigeria, Member Nigeria Medical Association Edo State, and its Vice Chairman from 1992 to 1993. Was a member Medical and Dental Consultant Association of Nigeria UPTA branch and its Vice Chairman 1997 to 1998, member Novartis West African Oncology Board 2016, member West African Society of Gastroenterology, fellow International College of Surgeons since 1996, member Nigeria Medical Association since 1979, member Guild of Medical Directors 2014. Professor Moses Imokhai is a recipient of the following. Is distinguished alumnus of the University of Benin 2016, African Legacy Award for African Global Alliance, Incorporated, Los Angeles, California, USA 2014, and African Men Achievement Award 2014. He has also served as external examiners and assessor to several universities within and outside Nigeria. He has over 32 publications in local, national, and international journals. He has attended over 11 local and international conferences. He has served as external examiner to the West African College of Surgeons and several universities within and outside Nigeria. He has also been a professional rank assessor, professorial rank assessor, and an accreditation panelist for several universities. Professor Momoh is a village head of Cairo, of Academy, district in Ifakasa, village of Fuga. He is a Christian of the Catholic faith and the Vice Chairman of Parish Pastoral Council (PPC) of St. Albert Catholic Church, University of Benin UPTH. He has been a global knight of the Ancient and Noble Order of St. John the Baptist since 1995. Professor Momoh has passion for long tennis and politics at all levels. You can now see why he was appointed Commissioner for Health. He is happily married to Dr. Rita Momoh, an associate professor, consultant ophthalmologist, and the marriage is blessed with 6 children. Thank you very much. Maybe I should have said 6 children only. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure on behalf of Madam Vice Chancellor to invite Professor Moses Imokhai to deliver his valedictory lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor.
Deputy Vice Chancellor at Cairo campus. Let me stand on the very well-established protocol, but permit me to recognize a very senior colleague from outside the state, Professor O.K. Umbonu, and his wife, past president of the West African College of Soldiers. He represents all our trainers at that level. Madam Vice Chancellor, I want to thank you for the approval for me to deliver this lecture today. As has been advertised, the title of my lecture is From Cairo to Cape Town, the Sojourn of a Sojourn. Madam Vice Chancellor, this valedictory lecture is dedicated to my Maker, the Almighty God, for all that I am and all that I have are from Him and of Him. It is also dedicated to my beloved parents of blessed memory, Chief Christopher A.K. Momoh, and Chief Mrs. Grace Agnes Nalba Momoh. On this day, the 2nd of November, we celebrate the solemnity of all saints, of all souls in the Universal Church. I therefore again pray that they, my parents, and all of our beloved ones, our parents who have passed on, may they rest in peace. My kind-hearted, compassionate, and loving mother chose medicine as a course for me to study in the university. And my stupendously courageous father chose the specialty of surgery, thus breaking from century-old tradition of native authority and law enforcement. This lecture is also dedicated to my darling wife, lovely children, my dear siblings sitting out there, and my trainees and mentees, to whom I have satisfactorily bequeathed a legacy of excellence, hard work, diligence, competence, and capacity. Madam Vice Chancellor, my studies, area of focus for publications, and thus my inaugural lecture, this 175th in the series, was on the situational alert of the ravaging breast cancer scourge. Breast cancer is the most common cancer affecting women worldwide. Breast cancer took this unenviable first position from cervical cancer about 2 decades ago. Breast cancer is still the leading cause of death due to cancer. Worldwide and in Nigeria, the incidence is increasing. It is such a huge healthcare and economic challenge that the highly influential and regarded Time magazine has featured it on its cover page 5 times in the last 2 decades. Look at the editions. Yesterday we had a very powerful speaker here, and Time magazine mentioned his name, and it was part of his CV. So if an issue is on the cover of Time magazine, it is a big deal. And for breast cancer to be on cover of Time magazine 5 times in the last 2 decades, it shows you how enormous the issue is worldwide and in Nigeria. Now I mentioned that the incidence is increasing worldwide, but in the developed world, deaths from it are declining, whereas here, deaths from breast cancer are increasing. The most common form of presentation of breast cancer here in Nigeria and West Africa is with a lump or a mass in the breast and a sore, whereas in the developed world, breast cancer presents with a screening detected lump in the breast. That is, the woman has no complaint, she goes for screening, and the lump is found the size of a grain of rice, and we take it from there. But here, we see huge mass divisions. Our studies, our research, we are not just for research purposes, they are aimed at reducing the burden of breast cancer. So,
We established baseline local and national data. We established the risk factors. We established the percentage that present with late disease. And we established the reasons why they presented late. These studies we did not keep on the shelf or just use for promotion. We escalated the findings to professional associations, non-governmental organizations, advocacy groups, civil societies, federal and sub-national governments. We advocated awareness and screening procedures that will lead to a reduction of the burden of breast cancer. We taught people, we taught everywhere breast self-examination, clinical breast examination, radiological scanning and ultrasound scanning, mammography in community health centers, such that when these are practiced at the ward level, that is, we have several local governments in Nigeria, each has about 12 wards, and therefore a total of about 10,000 wards. We expected that all these that we have taught and advocated will be taught in the communities, and therefore we should have an improvement in the stages at which breast cancer is diagnosed and at which we start to treat them. In order to give effect to what we advocated, we formed an NGO. We formed an NGO called Breast Savers Initiative, and we took New Benin Market as a sample population and went and offered free clinical breast examination for them. We are supported in this by Dr. Lucy Eriba, the Dr. Lucy Eriba-led Medical Women Association, later at this for Editing, and Dr. Amina Imokhai. They were very helpful in this campaign, and we discovered a lot of women with early breast cancer who were treated and have been cured. In the last 3 decades, we have repeated the study to see how much impact we have made. The first study 30 years ago showed that 80% of our cases came with late disease. But right now, in the last study done by Prof and myself, 70% of our women still come with advanced late disease. So there is nothing to cheer about. We have a lot of work to do. And I trust that these my mentees, these my colleagues I'm leaving behind, I trust them that they will do it. And I assure all of you that they will do it. Now look at the stages at which our patients, 70% of our patients still present with gross lesions like this. As the registrar said, today is a happy day. So I didn't want to bore you with very gross and frightening lesions. Otherwise, some of them, the whole chest is filled with something like a very big blood clot that is representing the state of the breast. But these are advanced breast cancer. The third one is bilateral breast cancer. The breast cancer has stayed so much and has spread to the other breast in this country, in this nation, in this state. We have tried, me and my colleagues and I have tried across West Africa, but ignorance, superstition, and poverty are still factors that we are contending with. As I said, we escalated our research findings and recommendations, and we have limited traction and gains of this. Right now, there is now a cancer health fund domiciled in the Federal Ministry of Health. Though limited, but an indigent woman can draw up to 2 million naira from this fund. Our digital CMD has been very, very helpful in this. Professor Darlington Obaseki, we have recommended several women to him, and he has approved that they should draw from this fund. This right now, I say it's limited because it's applied to breast, prostate, and cervical cancer. We are looking forward to a situation where we are global for all cancer. But it's a good beginning, so we must thank the federal government, we must thank the Federal Ministry of Health, and we must thank our own Osagi Hanire, who was minister when this program came on board. Our Vice Chancellor, what we recommend, we, my colleagues and I, who treat cancer, is that for breast cancer, in order to reduce the burden, every woman above the age of 30 should have free, mandatory breast screening free mandatory legal breastfeeding. And we have gone beyond that. We now recommend that an incentive should be paid for such women. When they are having good results in the United States, what obtains is that when a woman is going for breast screening in the US, the transport fare to go for that screening, the loss of revenue, because she will leave her place of work to go for the screening, the loss of revenue for that day will be paid to her. And these as incentives, so they now go for the screening. That is why they are discovering the lumps early enough. When I say mandatory or compulsory, you see, there are many things that you need to show. For example, you need to show your NIN or you need to show your driver's license before you can do some procedures. So we should do it. That oh, madam, you want this? Where's your? Have you done breast screening? What's your registration for breast screening? When we do this, it is going to reduce the burden. It's going to reduce the advanced stages at which they present. Eventually, it is a gain. It is a gain for the hospital, for the health insurance, and for the government. Those pictures that I showed you, when they are worse than that, when they lie on the bed, the fluid that drains from that breast will condemn the linen, it will condemn the pillowcase, it will condemn the bed sheet. And that's huge loss on a daily basis. So we must do things that will make things cheaper. Now, I said breast cancer took over from cervical cancer. Cervical cancer has a well-approved program of immunization, screening and immunization that has been adopted by governments and WHO. And it is applied in this country. It is free and it is. Results are impressive. Madam Vice Chancellor, we still have peculiar changes in our country. Even when things are free, we have awareness and education problems. Now, a retired school principal was going for screening at the CDC. The CDC in Darlington of Massachusetts UPTH, highly subsidized. Yes, I mentioned your name because for 10,000 or 5,000, you get the total body screening. So this school principal was going, and her conscience freaked her, and she took her nanny with her, because they are the same age, and they went for screening. They went for the screening, and the lump was discovered in the nanny, and the lump turned out to be cancer. Very small lump. Her husband rejected her and the results. He said he could not comprehend how a well person who had no complaint will go to hospital and go and bring disease home. So you can see our dilemma. So even if government approves free, total, paid for, we will have a problem with this kind of persons. Now you will say those are low-class people. But here it is, a professor, a female professor, in a health-related faculty. We have taken out her lumps 3 times, but fortunately they were not cancer. When the lump came the first time, she told us to remove her 2 breasts. We were excited. We gave her appointment to come in a week. And we were expectant that we were going to have our own Angelina Jolie. When she came for the first time, her husband and her senior brother came with her. They have never followed her to hospital before, but this time they came and they insisted that she should not remove her 2 breasts. Now, Madam Vice Chancellor, if a female professor has no right on what to do with the diseased part of her body, which woman will have that right? Which woman will have that right? So I call again on NGOs, civil liberties, medical women, women advocacy groups, to fight for the rights of women in this type of connection. But not as if my reverend father has come. But this right does not extend to women and the fetus they carry, the baby they carry in their wombs. Women are sacred vessels that carry baby to life. Those fetus have life and they have rights. So the woman has no right to terminate a pregnancy. Now, Madam Vice Chancellor, my tenure over 30 years in the university was spiced by a few public service appointments. First, I was a member of the Edo State Hospitals Management Board from 1994 to 1997. Then I was Director of Clinical Services and Training at the UVTH from 1998 to 2003, Commissioner of Health 2009 to 2011, and then Dean of the School of Medicine, and then a member of the National Bureau of Statistics. These appointments are because, by the grace of God, that I am a very, very good surgeon. The recommendations for this appointment came from my competence, my capacity, diligence, professionalism, empathy, and passion. That is how I got this appointment. It was not by lobbying. Now, just my member board, we are the longest serving board, a very, very long time, and up to now. Our Chief Executive, Dr. S.V. Imokhai, from there became Permanent Secretary, Head of Service, Secretary to Government, and Chairman of the Commission. Another member of the board, Sylvester Igbase, became President Electoral Commissioner in Ondo, Rivers, and Katsina States. Our chairman then, our own Professor Ambrose Isaac, became Dean of the School of Medicine, and later a resource person in pharmacovigilance for Nigeria, Africa, and the entire globe. Amazing stuff. As Chairman Medical Advisory Committee, the clinical service of the hospital rested on my shoulder under the supervision of the CMD, then Professor Austin Obasuhan. 1998 to 2003 were transition years from military to civil, and they were quite unstable. In spite of that, that management, of which I was next to Obasuhan, has system projects from conception to completion, and they changed fundamentally the face of the hospital. There were many that the accident and emergency, first scanner, renal dialysis, and then the installation of the oxygen plant, generated our own oxygen, the first of its kind in Nigeria and across West Africa. These were groundbreaking achievements that improved clinical services greatly and irreversibly. However, for me, the most outstanding achievement of that of Asuhan-led management was the fact that UPJ became recognized that it was in its temporary phase. It was on its temporary phase, even though it was on its permanent site. Therefore, Professor Asuhan led the good forth, and funds were provided for the completion of the abandoned projects in the hospital. As it is with bureaucracy, the funds came after our tenure. Madam Vice Chancellor, in 2009, I was appointed Honorable Commissioner of Health in Edo State. Immediately on being inaugurated, my childhood friend and brother, Dr. Mohammed M. Elek, called me and said, "Look, Moses, congratulations. You are now Commissioner for Health. There's a World Bank facility for $3 million that is about to lapse. For your sake, I will hold it down. If only you can push, and the state government will pay a 50 million naira counterpart fund." Of course, the progressive and dynamic Comrade Adams Oshomole government approved this immediately, and $3 million was provided for us to upgrade and reactivate facilities at the School of Nursing, School of Midwifery, and School of Health Technology. I saw Dr. Lady Christiana Ijegede. She came in earlier. Yes, she was principal of the School of Midwifery. I don't know if visibility is here. No, thank you. Now, so that did it. Dr. Lekki and Dr. Edwin Abebe Federal Ministry of Health continued to give all the support to the state government while I was commissioner. Real patriots, those ones. We also refurbished the eye clinic at the Central Hospital, and as well as provide state-of-the-art equipment for the EFT Sojourn, who had just returned from a highly specialized training. That is Dr. Patrick Okundia. Dr. Patrick Okundia, I've not seen him, but he's going to be here. He later became commissioner in that same ministry. Another chancellor, my most spectacular physical achievement as health commissioner is the imposing and alluring ultra-modern Edo Specialist Hospital, ESH. When we became commissioner in 2009, there was already an approved project. It was January, so there was already an approved budgetary provision of 700 million for the renovation of Central Hospital Benin. This renovation would involve repairs, re-roofing, carpentry, painting, and brilliant lighting of the premises. I thought otherwise. Because I had a sense of history. I knew the hospital in 1907 was, in 2007, was 102 years old. It was already 102 years old. And the real original hospital was small, but the extensions with cardboard and prefabricated materials was plenty. So I advised and we advocated that the hospital should be reassessed and we should demolish it in phases. We should demolish it in phases and review every project year. The oppositions can't argument, but eventually we prevailed at the State Executive Council, and Comrade Adams Oshomole approved that the new hospital be built. As built surveys that were done by Bernard Momoh, I saw him earlier on. Look at him there. He did it as built survey, and we took the hospital and demolished the part of it that has the ESH now and commenced building. We consulted with the stakeholders. We got to all the doctors. Dr. Bereme Pamsek, Dr. Nweke Pamsek, the hospital my member, and in the ministry, all of them, many of them are here. And we sat down and said what we needed was a new accident and emergency center that could take 50 cubicles, that could take 50 accident victims. That hospital is very central. Central in Edo State, central in Nigeria, central on the Trans-African Highway. All roads lead to that hospital, from south, from north, from east, from west. Accident victims were usually taken there many years ago, even bypassing UBT. So we saw that, and we insisted that there must be natural lighting and natural ventilation. So the huge windows that you see there in the hospital are part of the tropicalization design of the hospital. You can see me, Adams Oshomole, and Hosseini Ahmed, assistant engineer at the foundation lay, and then they finished the hospital a few years later. Early this year, 2023, I was a senior examiner at the Edo University that held at ESH. And there were assessors from all over Nigeria because it was their first final examination. And all the people from outside Edo were admiring the hospital. Then the person from Kano said that what they liked best about the beautiful edifice that had the large windows, glass windows that allowed for natural ventilation and natural light. In my presence, he said it, and I was there. My heart melted and glowed. So much sense of fulfillment. You do something you don't know the value in future. So thus, my tenure at the ministry was gratifying for impacting positively at primary, secondary, and tertiary health care. On return to the university in 2011, I put my papers together and was promoted to the rank of professor. Again, I plugged myself back into my clinical duties, my research, my teaching, and the mentoring of the resident doctors. In July 2014, I was elected dean. As dean of the School of Medicine and as a core clinician and as somebody who has been CMAC, Director of Clinical Services before, I emphasize that the university must participate actively in the training of clinical students, provision of materials for them in theater, in the wards, in the emergency, furniture in the clinics. You know, so you go to clinics and as you see, the University of Benin benches and furniture for medical students to sit on. Now, at the tenure of the dean, we also got the Department of Pharmacology and Therapeutics established in the School of Medicine. It had been taught from the Faculty of Pharmacy, but the Medical and Dental Council and National Universities Commission always insisted that this department must be within the school as dean and ensure that this was possible. Now, the Center of Excellence for Reproductive Health that is making so much waves now, we passed it through the School Board of Studies when I was dean. We took it to college with Professor Yahweh. I saw him entry. Thank you, sir. Took it to the college and took it to the Senate, defended it, and it was established. I must congratulate Professor Fayode Okonofa, the central leader, and the entire center for the giant strides that it has attained so soon after its inception. Another vice chancellor, my most gratifying accomplishment, by the grace of God, was getting the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to approve for us to admit 150 students in the 100 level. Before then, it was 90. And for Unibank is the most sought after medical school in Nigeria. After post-UTME, we have 10,000 people passing post-UTME for medicine. And you now need to select 90 from this. It was a harrowing task. Even at 150, it is still difficult. But at least we moved it from 90 to 150 after 2 dwelling accreditation visits. I believe that because of the thoroughness of our preparation, the Medical and Dental Council has eventually made me a permanent member of the association panels. All our medical schools. I already have an invitation for the 15th of this month to go to the South State to assess another medical school that is producing its first graduate of medicine and to be an observer there to ensure that they comply to the Benin standards. As lecturer and more as dean, we are local parents of our students. We are fair, we are sometimes harsh in implementing rules and regulations, but we still are their parents in this environment because their parents are far away from here. So on account of this, that many of them, but I just show this, the 2016 100 level medical students presented with a water dispenser at the end of their 100 level, led by their captain, Efusa or Yeba. But they are big people now, I think they are 500 or 600 level. They may not even recognize themselves now. And the vice chancellor, we didn't succeed in everything we set up to do as dean of medicine. We wanted the lecture theaters and the office block for the lecturers in the UPTH premises, as obtained in UCH Ibadan, as obtained in Lagos, in Luch, that is at Idiaraba. Luch is at Idiaraba, University of Lagos is in Akoka. If you go there, you see a big building, College of Medicine, University of Lagos, inside Idiaraba. Similarly at UCH, you see a big building, college building, College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. And the others are there. Alexander Brown Hall is inside the teaching hospital. So we have been fighting to have these. We have been fighting, the states have been willing. But during my tenure, Procession actually approved. But some elements later countered that it is not right. They cannot have H1 building inside the UPTH. Well, thank God that the Vice Chancellor has done that. We go to UPTH now under the leadership of Professor Lilian Salani. H1 buildings are now in UPTH. congratulations to Tina and to CMA here. God bless her. I trust that when the opportunity avails, she will also employ younger lecturers in the School of Medicine. Many departments in the School of Medicine now, their youngest academic staff is associate professor. In my department of surgery, from where I'm speaking, we have 12 consultants, hospital consultants who do not have university appointments. Because medicine is an apprenticeship, they teach the students. It's inevitable, they must teach the students. During reward rounds, during theater sessions, nobody can be that cruel not to teach a medical student who is seeking knowledge, whether you are paid or not. But they are teaching the students, some for 12 years now, without an appointment from the university. This is anomalous. It's not right. We hear there is embargo on employment, but we must find a way. We must find a way to employ these young men. Many of them have become disillusioned and gone to the Gulf states. But a few are still here, patriotic. Please, in the shortest possible time, I urge, I plead, I beg that they be employed at the appropriate level. Now, the argument made by some people during my time against us was that very soon the academic staff of the School of Medicine will be more than the students. Look, now, the clients where we go to, there we now have subspecialties. I said that as a general surgeon. That's why I sojourned from Cairo to Cape Town, which you hear. But now, you don't sojourn all over the place. You just concentrate and zero in on an area. Now, you will have surgeons who operate only on the breast, only on the gallbladder, only on the pancreas. Similarly, orthopedics, you have shoulder surgeon, hip surgeon, knee surgeon, ankle surgeon. The days of one general orthopedic surgeon is gone. So we must employ people in these areas to do this, to teach this and do this job. So I trust that our progressive African leader, Vice Chancellor, will employ the colleagues in these sub-specialties. Once more, I thank her for putting those facilities in the UVTH. Thank you, Madam Vice Chancellor. Now, Madam Vice Chancellor, the breast which has been the issue of my research and studies and valedictory lecture, inaugural lecture and valedictory lecture, this is because of the enormity of the problem that it has posed and the consequent loss of manpower at their prime of productivity. But anatomically, it is a very simple organ within the skin. It is just like a skin appendage. The surgery is not challenging, the surgery is simple, except when it has spread to contiguous organs, it has had distant metastasis. Even then, it is not challenging. For the general surgeon, for us general surgeons, the territory is the abdomen, and the abdomen is like a map of Africa, with the thyroid gland, that is the goiter, and the breast, like the Mediterranean. This is the territory we did most of our work. You know, some 2 decades ago, a tall young man entered my consulting room, holding a bottle of champagne and smiling. And I sought to know who he was. Instead of introducing himself, he raised his shirt to expose his belly. And I saw a long scar from the beginning of the abdomen to the end. And he told me, I am that man that was shot at Wasota Junction. I am that man that you operated on. The man that came from New York. And I remember, I said, yeah, that's correct. He had been shot at Wasota Junction. He had his cover with the robbers. So they put the gun on his belly and fired it. And we found the cartridge, his shirt and clothing inside the collar. We cleaned him out. We stitched him in about 8 places. He got out of theater, got out of ICU. In 4 days, he was banging on the table. Take me out of here. I can't year, I got to go to the United States. I said, what is this? He said, look, I'm out of here. You know, he thought he didn't have confidence in what his native village was doing. He insisted, hired an air ambulance and was evacuated to the United States. Well, he told me that his bewilderment, nothing else was done for him. They looked at him, they observed him. After about 10 days, they discharged him. So, on this visit, he became a bottle of champagne. So thank us. Similarly, well, looking at him, the incision, as I said, was from what we call the sternum up here to the symphysis pubis near the bladder. And that for us is Cairo, Cape Town. So yours truly is not a gallivanting soldier. He's traveling the length of Africa. Throughout, in the last few days that the cars were out, I have restrained myself from explaining what that meant. I said, come, listen to the lecture. You can't come to be streamed live and you will hear it. So I believe everybody knows now. Now, that is the incision. You can see the wound, that is a wound from sternum to Cape Town. When we are entering an abdomen, where all the CT scan, ultrasound scan, MRI have not put down what the cause is, so we start with the small incision, but eventually they extend off, extend down, and we may get this. But this is also most common with missile injuries, when people are shot, you can never see where the injuries are. Now, I wanted to give a graphic expression to this, so I drew this with my first pen, the one on the right. I drew it, and I gave it a computer assist to develop. The computer assist did something and brought it, and the consensus is that what I drew with my hand as a sketch was better. It's the strong, steady, but fine hands and fingers of the surgeon. So that is what it represents. Cairo there, Cape Town. That is where we sojourned the last few years. Now similarly, a Catholic priest, and of Augustinians, St. Augustine's Catholic Church in Haiti, was jogging and was shot by robbers. He was shot by robbers and he was rushed to the hospital. We took him to the theater. Sir Professor Chevalier Reginald Ofegu, he's here. He was in theater as a very senior surgeon and a devout Catholic and a Papa Knight, obviously representing the interests of the Vatican. But he watched over us and we treated diseases of the biliary tract, especially of the pancreas. Especially of the pancreas. It has taken prominent people, academicians, entrepreneurs, businessmen, even globally. Steve Jobs, the man who invented the iPhone, died from it. Because this cancer, when it because by the time the tumor in the head of the pancreas is 2 cm, that's 20 millimeters, it is already too late for curative surgery. So we recommend and advocate that the government, state, federal, insurance companies should provide us with scanning machines in every senatorial district in this country, so that these ravaging cancers of the abdomen can be discovered early and we can have curative treatments. It is a huge loss when we lose these people, and the loss is not just to the family, it is to the nation. Now, we also had amazing experiences with gastric artery obstruction, which is a complication of peptic ulcer disease. It presents in a very harrowing way, but when you do the surgery, they return completely back to normal life. Now, I want to talk about the Cape Town, that is the anus and the cancers around the anus and the lower rectum. In this area, we will find that we see how people don't align us to have what we call a colostomy. A colostomy is an artificial anus that is constructed on the abdomen, and it allows the patient, after the cancer and the anus has been removed, it acts as a permanent anus for the rest of their lives. For most Nigerians, most Africans, it is unthinkable, but it's very common abroad. Prof. our late teacher and trainer, used to tell us that the Queen Mother, that's the mother of Queen Elizabeth, had colostomy for 50 years. Of course, by a few years ago when she died, she had colostomy for over 60 years. And she lived to be 103 years old. So, let us advise our family members, our relations, when they have these lesions, let them accept colostomy. The truth about colostomy, look at it there, the bag is there, you put it all day, you go about your business, and feces enters it. But as I said, the truth is that initially, within the first 4-8 weeks, the feces will be entering continuously. But after about 8 weeks, the body conditions that artificial, that contraption. The mind and the body conditions it, and it will only function first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening. When you are cleaning up at night, you go to bed, it will function. Just like when you move your bowel in the night, it will function. You remove the feces, clean it and put it back, and you go to bed. In the morning, it will function. You clean back after your bath, and you go about your business. In advanced countries, they have clubs they belong to. But we are lucky. Here in Delta State, a very nice lady, Dr. Mrs. Maria Okonji, has an association of ostomates. And they counsel those who are preparing to have colostomy, and they convince them and give confidence to them that they are okay. Hemorrhoids, which we call high, is one of the things that we pay for erecting assuming the upright position. Other mammals who are on all fours don't have hemorrhoids. Research and studies show that 80% of persons will have had one complaint or the other about piles in their lifetime. It's quite a common disease, but people look at that area as their private part, and they tend to keep it till it becomes unbearable. Now, also at the Cairo, above at Cairo, the area I call the Mediterranean, you have the thyroid gland and the diseases that produce goiter. Now, goiters are a large bit of that gland in the neck, and our surgeries in that area have been phenomenal. We have done extremely well in Benin and across. And I want to assure you that these mentees here have had the skill that Usifo Osime passed on to my generation, we have passed it on to them. Now, across West Africa, our reputation is very good and I've done exceedingly well. So I want to assure that Omorojo Iroba, Peter Bonrofo, Scott, Omorube, and Bogo, Etiali, all of them, Stanley Ide, are very, very competent to do this surgery. Now, but we still have challenges. We still have challenges. Some few years ago, a senior colleague of mine, a retired chief consultant and permanent secretary, had been calling me for the past 3 years that his sister had goiter and was going to come over to Benin for me to do the surgery. And I always say, look, Oga, anytime, bring her. And she eventually, after about 3 years, the patient's brother, another permanent secretary, brought her to hospital. And she used a wrapper to tie around her neck. When we opened it, the goiter was huge. It was choking her. She could no longer breathe. We stabilized her, took her to theater, and we removed the goiter, and it weighed 4.8 kilograms. Madam Vice Chancellor, when a baby is 4 kilograms, they say the baby wants to kill the mother. I such a big baby. This is the size of the goiter. This is the size of the goiter that this patient had in her neck. You see it? That's at times again. That's when we removed it and we put it. You can see specimen containers. Small specimen containers, but hers was put in a bucket. Now, for the years she was dilly-dally, it was her pastor. Her pastor who told her not to go for surgery. Even the day of surgery, we were waiting in theater. 30 minutes, the trolley, the porter went to get her. And we were waiting. Where is she? They said she was praying on the phone with the pastor. The sad thing is that by the time we sent that specimen for test, it came back to be cancer. You see, for the years she was dilly-dally, if it was cancer all those years, it would have consumed her. So the cancer must have been a latter day onset. Now, we have many cases of these pastors delaying our work. So because of that, I printed out Ecclesiasticus 38. New Jerusalem Bible, and put it in my consulting room, and I used to share it with the patients. I obliged them. So patients come to me, they say they want to go to TB Joshua. I said, go and come. They come. I give them read. I want to make the point that prayers and the doctor's work are not exclusive, are not mutually exclusive. You can combine both. Hear what the Ecclesiasticus says. It says, treat the doctor with the honor that is his due, in consideration of his services. For he too has been created by the Lord. Healing itself comes from the Most High, like a gift from the King. Hear this. He has given some people the knowledge so that they draw credit from his mighty works. He uses this healing and relieving pain. The drug makes a mixture of them. Thus, there is no end to his activities. Listen, my child, when you are ill, do not rebel, but pray to the Lord. We will heal you. Renounce your faults. Keep your hands from soil and cleanse your heart from all sin. Offer incense and memorial of fine flour and make as rich an offering as you can afford. Then let the doctor take over. The Lord has created him too. Do not let him leave you, for you need him. Please, there are times when the good health depends on doctors. Okay? So this is what we say. Prayers, miracles, and taking what the doctor says are not mutually exclusive. They work together for the good and health of the patient. My mentees, trainees, and former students, they are legion across the globe. These are just a few representatives. It is so gratifying to see your former students and trainees attain expertise, attain greater heights in all subspecialties, and are deservedly heading units, departments, institutions, even as CMDs, vice chancellors, and commissioners. Dr. Dalit Mabasiki, Professor E.A.C. Ome, President of West African College of Surgeons, Professor Neko Okulugo, CMD of Delft, Clement Osime, David Udo. David Udo has trained neurosurgeons who are now working in the Gulf States and in the United States. Ayosiri Obe set up a paramedic school that is making wave around the world. The CMD is very proud of it. I saw a post a few days ago where a paramedic trained in UPTH won a prize at the London City Bus Service, London City Bus Ambulance Service. He was given an award in London, United Kingdom. Somebody trained by an innovative surgeon that I trained. We are very proud of you. Although looking wrong, plastic and reconstructive surgeon. These boys are reconstructive bellies and put us all over the place. But the church is a pastor. I hope he's very involved in those things. All of them, Adobame, wonderful ENT surgeon. David Usifo, prize winner, award winner, all over the place. Stanley Okuko, the CMAC of the hospital. Wonderful. Christine Overa. Look, Isi Ataga, many of them in the United States, Eko Isenalume, Yowele brothers, their mother is here. Samson Tujegwe is in the Gulf States. All of them. Yosewi is, both of them. All of them. We thank God. Fidelis of Zoba, I saw him, plastic surgeon. We must thank God. We must thank God and acknowledge God. I am grateful to my Maker again, the Almighty God, for all that I am, all that I have from Him. Everything has been by the grace of God. All I've said here is not for personal aggrandizement. It's for me to attest to the power of God. I want you to follow me. Take God the way I take my God. You see, everything, my parents, family, education, training, appointments, elevations, awards, honors, promotions, friends, associates, all is by the grace of God. All by the grace of God. I want to acknowledge my village head. I promised to be here. My traditional ruler, I'm village head. My traditional leader at the clan level, under whom I am village head. Yes. My uncle, the Royal Majesty George Oshadi Egabo, Okumabwe of Wano, that was the year where we live in Auchi. They had the baby of South India and his friend, Kevin Danes. Now, I thank my teachers at St. Vincent's Catholic School, Auchi, St. John's College, Fuga, look at them, SJC, Government College, Ugeli, the prestigious and famous Government College, Ugeli, look at them in their yellow ribbons. Up school, wonderful, two wonderful schools that I attended and molded me, and then the Great University of Benin and the West African College of Surgery. In the Department of Surgery, I thank our teacher, Professor Sir Reginald Chevalier Ofegu, KSJ, Professor Usime, Professor Roman, Professor Chedoze, Victor Odiase, Alex Morgan, Philip Akumabo, Vincent Enora, and Patrick Obofili. Outside surgery, I had tremendous models in the persons, people like Professor Tiami Wu, Bello Osagi, a former obstetrician and gynecologist. He was a clean, fine gentleman of great style and swag. I love this that he packed his Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud in the foyer at UBTH. He packed it there, and I was so proud. I said, me, doctor, I will also pack a similar car. I am going to be a good doctor. I am going to be a great surgeon. So I will be like Professor Tiami Bello Osagi. We had dinner in his home at Igoba Swimming Crescent. Up till today, it is still state of the art. Simple but excellent place. So So they motivated us. And I'm thankful to them for that motivation. It made me feel good. You see, at the West African level, our teachers had streets named after them in Victoria Island, Akin Adeshola Street, in here. Prof. Sojourn, Professor A.O. Adeshola, Vice Chancellor, Professor Okeumbono, who is here today. When they spoke, the nation listened. They listened. Professor Luri, when they spoke, government, military or civilian listened. I don't know whether we see how that there. Professor Lepute, I'm thankful to Darocha Afro, they were an inspiration to us. They were an inspiration to my generation. I thank my family, large nuclear family. Look at them, vision. When they call them up here now, you see confusion. You will see confusion. You see, and I can even thank my wife straight away because she has coped with it. They are very educated and very enlightened community that I lead as village head. So you need to be better. You need to set the pace. You need to lead by example. Well, I thank my lovely wife who supports in every endeavor has been invaluable and immeasurable. Thank you, Rita Momoh. My children, wonderful, marvelous, fantastic. For their sake, I can only do good to all I encounter at work, at school, in clinics, and everywhere. I see my child in everybody around me. My son, Momoh, is an energy lawyer. Sit here. The sister, Omegi, is the ACCA, strategic manager. The one next to her is in the United States as an economist. Momoh is a software engineer in the UK. And the Cyril Momoh has just entered community college in New Jersey. Who cares in Momoh? SS2. St. Augustine College, and my grandson Oshoma is not here. He will be here for the Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving on the 25th. For them, I thank and praise God unceasingly. But the Vice Chancellor, by the grace of God and support of my family, I am in very good mental and physical health and spiritual health. I will continue. Now I will be more present at my court in the village as Imokhai village head. And surgery keeps me going. So I have a facility where I continue to operate. I continue to do surgeries and continue to teach and mentor people in this wonderful discipline. We have made very significant progress and healthcare delivery. I'm extremely delighted at the very high standard of expertise that have been fitted to this, my colleagues, and here and around the world. To God be all the glory. Our recommendations are these for the breast. Again, I repeat, that every woman above the age of 30 should have screening mammography, have a breast screen every other year for free, and a monetary incentive should be paid to the woman to do that. It's cheaper to do that than to deal with an advanced breast cancer. For the abdominal cancers, let us have body scanners, let us have scanning machines that can detect these cancers before they become inoperable. Nigeria can afford to have one in every senatorial district. There are only 109 of them across this country. And we have them, then we will know. We will never have to get the manpower to operate them, but that can be achieved. Finally, I want to thank God. I want God to bless the University of Benin, bless the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, bless the Edo State, and bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I'm done.
I think the lecturer deserves better ovation.
Great Uniben. Great Uniben. Thank you very much for your attention. And I want to believe we've had a very, very wonderful lecture. Were it possible to say that eminent professors who are retired should continue to be in the system? We have loved they remain here with us. Because the kind of knowledge that they all have, they are not things that we can buy from any market in the world. May God continue to be with them as they are leaving the system to retirement. They will never retire into sickness. We welcome our traditional rulers. And the summary of the lecture goes: cancers, when detected early, can be treated with the objective to attain cure. It is true for breast, endocrine, and abdominal cancers. In the vein of sub-Saharan Africa and other low-resource developing countries, it is presentation with late and advanced stage disease that cannot be cured. Our studies still present with advanced stage disease. Thus, unlike in the developed economies where deaths from breast cancer are declining, here in sub-Saharan Africa, the incidence of breast cancer and deaths due to breast cancer are on the increase. In the abdomen, where we sojourned several thousand miles, cancers of the body of the stomach, cancer of the pancreas and the sickle, cavities of the killers of men, also present with advanced stage disease. Pancreatic cancer particularly, 95% of cases present with advanced stage disease. We therefore recommend policy strategies that will ensure early detection of these ravaging cancers. For breast cancer, we advocate free mandatory breast screening of every woman above the age of 30 with financial inducement paid to the woman. I think when the government does this, women will be doing that every week. For abdominal cancers, we enjoy government and health insurance companies to procure and install total body scanning machines in all the 103 senatorial districts in Nigeria. In my own view, this can be made their constituency projects, and that will not be too much for them in a year. These strategies will ensure early detection of these ravaging cancers, which by the grace of God will guarantee normal life expectancy. We have exhibited that as soldiers, that we have the competence, we have the expertise, capacity and skills to attain cure when they present early. And these attributes we have bequeathed to our colleagues and mentees that is leaving behind. Ladies and gentlemen, to God be the glory. Thank you for coming.
The Vice Chancellor will now present a plaque to our valedictory lecturer today. So I invite the members of the immediate family of our valedictory lecturer, please come on stage. Spouse and children, please come on stage to take a photograph with our lecturer as the Vice Chancellor will present him with a plaque. Please come this way. Come this way off stage. I'd like to welcome very specially Dr. Mrs. Rita Momoh, the wife of our valedictory lecturer today. We welcome Mr. Oshoka Momoh, son. We welcome you, Ms. Omege Momoh, the daughter, and Ms. Ukiesi Momoh. We welcome you. We want to welcome His Royal Highness Kelvin Danesi, the Idology of South Ibi. We also welcome the traditional ruler of the 3 Ibis. We welcome you very much, sir. We also like to make welcome Mr. Thomas Momoh. These are siblings of the inaugural of the valedictory lecturer, Mrs. Pat Okute, Mrs. Josephine Aliu, Barrister Mrs. Clementina Oyeshoya, Mrs. Anthony Oshoke, Mr. Christopher Momoh, Dickness Mrs. Idinoba, Mr. Imokhai Momoh. You're all welcome. Please let's put our hands together to celebrate the siblings of our valedictory lecturer today. We welcome you very especially. We also like to make welcome the Chief Medical Director, University of Benin Teaching Hospital, Professor Darlington Obaseki. We're glad to have you here, sir. We also welcome former Registrar of the Bridge University of Benin, Mrs. Otasobi Oshodi. We're happy to have you here. We also welcome you, retired CJ in Edo State, Honorable Justice Esther Edigin. We also welcome, please let's celebrate this presence. We also welcome in our midst Honorable Justice and Professor Mrs. Olubo. Please put your hands together for them. We also welcome Honorable Sergius Ogo, former House of Rep. Please put your hands together to celebrate them. We also like to make welcome Professor Stanley Okugo, SIMA, UBTH. I wish we can just celebrate our persons. Thank you very much. We also make welcome to this place, Jim Wadia, Esquire. We welcome you, sir. He's in charge of administration at the UBTH. We also like to make very welcome also Dr. Mrs. Esohe Obogodo. Please celebrate Dr. Mrs. Esohe Obogodo. We're glad to have you here. ACP Dr. Margaret Oyapire Negbinebo. We welcome all staff of UNIBEN and also especially students of the College of Medical Sciences. Please celebrate yourselves. We also welcome all staff of the University of Benin Teaching Hospital. We welcome all members of St. Albert's Catholic Church. We welcome you. We also welcome very especially Reverend Father Jude Anara. That's the parish priest of St. Albert's Catholic Church. Please celebrate him. We also welcome the assistant parish priest of all St. Albert's Catholic Church in Iben, Reverend Father Lawrence Obasi. We welcome you. We also welcome you, Right Honorable Chevalier and Right Honorable Dave Woodway. We welcome you. We welcome everyone from St. John's College, Old Boys Association. Please put your hands together to celebrate yourself. We're happy to have you here. We also welcome all old boys from the Government College, Uveli. We welcome you. We also like to welcome Professor Vivian Audu. We welcome you, Emeritus Professor and Professor Mrs. R.O. Fuegu. We welcome you especially, sir. We welcome you, Professor Mrs. Momoh. We welcome you, Professor Ipinovia. We welcome you, Professor Charles Erege. Professor and Professor Mrs. Charles Erege. We welcome Professor Mrs. Okumbola. We welcome you, Venerable Professor Samoyi. We welcome you also, Professor A.K. Orobato Esquire. We welcome Professor Ken Halim. We welcome Professor Ike Bufwa. We welcome Professor Nosa Igafona. We welcome you, Professor Sonny Okaibebe. We also welcome Professor Kokumi We welcome Professor Omomoh. We also welcome you, Professor Proc Adobame, NCAM Chairman. We welcome you all very specially. We would also like to say we recognize the presence of all other scholars here present. And just before we round off, this is to bring to our attention that on the 9th valedictory lecture in the valedictory lecture series of the University of Benin will happen here on the 9th of November at 11 a.m. at this very auditorium. You're all invited. And this is how we conclude the 8th valedictory lecture in the valedictory lecture series of the University of Benin. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all for coming. And peradventure your name was not mentioned. Please, it was not deliberate. Please, let's rise up now. We are going to take the Uniband anthem and the second stanza of the national anthem. Vice-Chancellor to lead the entire party from this place. Please remain where you are as they exit the auditorium. Thank you.